Today, we're going to explore something that feels a little bit like stumbling onto a comforting presence in a world that's filled with nightmarish entities. Only that presence just so happens to have the head of a horse's skull and a neck that could put a pasta noodle to shame with its length. Don't worry, I'm not going off the deep end. I'm talking about Longhorse. He's a gentle anomaly within the Trevor Henderson mythos, and yeah, I know, gentle anomaly and horse skull don't exactly pair well together, but trust me, this one's on another level. Longhorse is a creation hailing directly from the mind of Trevor Henderson, an artist widely known for assembling a bestiary of creatures that typically send people running for their nightlights. This time around, though, we have something that breaks from that mold. While countless cryptids seem tailor-made to haunt your dreams, this particular being shows up more like a friendly tip-off when the cosmic storm clouds are brewing overhead. It lacks any violent tendencies, and you won't find it chopping at the bit to tear you apart. Mainly because it doesn't even have a body to do so. Its entire form consists of a horse-like skull head attached to a neck that extends indefinitely. Honestly, it's like the horse itself took a bite out of the gum-gum fruit. The result is a less conventional animal and more of a surreal signpost with good intentions. One of the most intriguing traits of Longhorse is its complete absence of malice. Now, contrary to expectations that any strange entity popping up from the ether would at least try to give you a sleepless night, this thing is more like a cautionary advisor. It bends reality to poke its elongated head into your world to warn you of incoming trouble. Instead of drenching you in fear, it brings with it this calm, stable demeanor. We're talking like no aggression here, no hostility whatsoever, not even a snarky whisper in your ear. You could be minding your own business, flipping through channels late at night, when suddenly you notice that equine skull peeking around the corner. But don't freak out. Apparently, that's your hint that you should be on guard for rough times ahead. If this reminds you of some bizarre guidance counselor with infinite spinal flexibility, then well, congratulations, you're on the right track. The creature's intangible nature is another key point. It's not stomping around, leaving footprints, or knocking over your grandma's favorite face. Rather, though, it can appear out of nowhere, slipping into your reality as if physical boundaries mean nothing. Solid walls, locked doors, all of these things are just mere suggestions rather than obstacles for Longhorse, which makes its arrival completely unpredictable. And if you think that you're going to collect a souvenir, think again, buddy. There is no evidence ever left behind. There's no strange residue, no tufts of spectral fur, and certainly no mysterious bridle hanging on the coat rack after it disappears. It simply comes and goes as it pleases, popping in at pivotal moments to provide a heads up that would make any fortune teller look like an amateur hack. But wait, there's more. Longhorse has a particular aroma associated with it, something akin to like a gentle cinnamon-like scent. But let's be real here. What are the odds that a skull-headed entity known for bending reality would choose to smell like your grandma's kitchen during the holidays? But here we are, dealing with this eldritch harbinger who apparently enjoys making your olfactory experience pleasant rather than terrifying. The smell doesn't turn your stomach or make you recoil. Instead, it encourages you to let your guard down just enough to realize that you're not about to be torn limb from limb. If every other monster is out there trying to scare the pants off of you, Longhorse is more like the spooky neighbor who shows up at your door with a scented candle to remind you of better days. And then there's the matter of sound. You'd probably think that some infinite-necked cryptid would roar or neigh like some sort of banshee, but instead, you actually might hear subtle cracking noises. They're often described as gentle, bone-like pops, almost like knuckles being cracked at a distance, but they never rise to a scream or a shriek. These quiet sounds are more reminiscent of like old floorboards settling in the night, and not the kind that you run from in a panic. Imagine you're in bed, half asleep, and you catch faint organic creaks in the darkness. I suppose any other circumstances that might be alarming, but in Longhorse's present, they become a strange comfort. An oddly soothing underscore to the soothing message of, take care, something's coming. It's downright poetic. It's like if a yoga instructor decided to become a cryptid. Now, of course, the primary function that sets this creature apart is its role as a living heads-up display for impending doom. It doesn't control these disasters, nor does it seem to choose who to warn, but still, it appears when necessary, often materializing in hallways or even in your dreams to remind you that bad stuff can happen. Consider it the metaphysical meteorologist of your nightmares. No green screen, no animated cloud patterns though, just that ever-elongating neck and a calm conviction in its purpose. The fact that it never engages in direct attacks or intimidation tactics suggests this moral compass that points it in a positive direction. Or, I guess at the very least, a lack of interest in doing you dirty. In this universe of horrors, having one creature just show up to say, hey, heads up, that's about as refreshing as finding a working flashlight in a haunted basement. This role also contrasts with, other more vicious entities too. If you've spent any time analyzing monsters that like nothing more than to recreate scenes of your worst nightmares, Longhorse almost feels like it wandered in from a different show altogether. I mean, imagine Longhorse making a cameo in Courage the Cowardly Dog. It would fit right in, slinking into a scene not as a villain, but as a gentle nudge from beyond. And sure, Courage would probably be freaked out, but eventually he'd get the hint that it's time to batten down those hatches, buddy, and prep for something nasty on the horizon. Meanwhile, you're left whispering, thanks, I guess. Now, don't misunderstand. Longhorse isn't your personal guardian angel. It won't stand between you and whatever catastrophe is about to strike, nor will it offer any life hacks or any sort of survival guide. It's more like an observer, stepping into your dimension to say, hey buddy, brace yourself, champ, I've seen what's coming and it ain't pretty. After which, it simply just exits stage left, leaving you to deal with reality. Now, if that seems a tad unhelpful, I guess I get it, I hear you. But remember, you could have gotten a creature that just takes one look at you and decides that you would make a great snack. Compared to that, this heads up that Longhorse gives is practically a winning lottery ticket. In the grand tapestry of the Trevor Henderson mythos, Longhorse stands as a beacon of calm amid chaos. It's a peaceful anomaly, a stable, entirely docile figure whose presence is a warning rather than a threat. It smells nice, it moves through your walls like a polite ghost, and it never tries to rearrange your internal organs. I mean, when you think about that, it's a bargain that you don't often get in cryptid encounters. Sure, it's not going to hold your hand through tough times, but at least it gives you the courtesy heads up that trouble's about to be knocking on your door. In a universe filled with monstrosities just drooling for your doom, I would say a graceful heads up is worth something. Even if it looks like a horse's skull perched atop of the world's largest piece of supernatural linguine. Longhorse is a sweet-smelling, cinnamon-seasoned messenger that appears without warning and appears without any drama. It's a quiet enigma that reminds you to stay prepared, and it's not hard to appreciate that opts out of scaring you into a frenzy, but instead just waves a friendly red flag. In a twisted world of nightmares, that level of courtesy is practically Nobel Prize worthy. If you made it this far into the episode, click the like and subscribe button on YouTube or the follow button on your podcast app. Thanks.